Is this on?
Yes, it is. We're working on setting it up. But yeah, we are definitely, everybody's on and can see somebody drinking coffee.
That's right.
Okay, I'm just setting up the broadcast so we can go live, and this is already at 10:30 today. So, and I believe there's a countdown timer on there now. 17 minutes and 19 seconds. Hey, Jenna. Good morning.
Hi, Patrick. How you been?
Good. How are you?
Good, thanks.
All right. No, I don't have a camera.
Oh, okay.
Sadly, I got a new screen and didn't realize it didn't have a camera.
Oops.
So I bought it, yeah. And I've not needed one, so I've had it for probably close to a year. I've just never needed a camera before.
Okay.
So, but here I am. Looks like Jeff is logging on, or somebody at Jeff's house. I think it was Jeff. I'm still trying to set up our stream here, so I'm going to get back to that.
What a cute dog.
Thank you. She's very spoiled.
She is cute.
Hi, Mark.
He's muted.
I see.
Doreen's got a beautiful fire behind her nice, comfy-looking chair.
Yeah. Did you guys have a big group last week?
Yeah, we had 34, I think,
Wow.
which is not
For
bad.
this situation?
Yeah, I think everybody's gone to online. I watched an online concert Friday night. Normally he plays out in different venues around town, but I thought that was pretty doggone cool.
Really?
And I saw another one that's going to do online. Can't think of the name of it though.
I think Elton John is doing a concert tonight.
Really?
From his living room. Yeah, Google it.
I'm going to love Elton John.
Yeah, I might check it out.
I am going to.
Yeah, let me search while we're looking.
Cool. Yeah, it's tonight.
You see it? 9 o'clock Eastern, so.
6 p.m. Pacific, so it's what, 8 o'clock? Wait a minute. 7 o'clock.
7 here.
Wow, Alicia Keys, Backstreet Boys, Billie Eilish.
Oh, I don't even see that. Yeah.
Yes, I'm looking at a different page, maybe.
Oh, I see it. Yep.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't know Billy Joe Armstrong, but Mariah Carey, Tim McGraw, and more. Wow. I think I'm going to just leave this page open.
Mm-hmm. Do you want me to put a link in the chat?
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Sure.
I love technology.
I think this, I know, right? I think this, trying to see if it has instructions on how to connect. Where?
Well, that would be way too easy if they had that.
Watch online through this station's website. So maybe if people just click on this link. What did I do to my view?
Oh, it's an iHeartMedia radio station and the iHeartRadio app.
I don't know where to put these windows and not block the slides. I just need to play with my views.
Yeah. I'm still trying to get the video set up for broadcast.
Can you hear me? This is Kay. I'm here.
I hear you, Kay.
Kay.
How you doing?
Doing okay. How are you?
Good. Good. Hi, Pam.
Morning, Pam. And Kay.
You're muted.
I'm muted?
Pam.
I hear you. I hear Pam.
I meant Pam.
Yeah.
A lot of U's here.
Good point.
I had myself muted because I'm not quite ready, but I hear you.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning. Hey.
David, did David send out an invite by email?
Yeah, I got one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't checked my mail yet today. Don't know.
Hi, Chris. You're muted, Chris.
14 people so far.
Yeah, I'm not getting well, this happened before. I'm using an iPad instead of a PC because it has the camera I want, but I'll be able to get the view of everybody, I think, after the slide moves. That's what happened last time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right, Kay. I have the same thing. I can't see everybody.
Yeah.
I can see on the participant list who's here.
You can scroll your screen and you'll gradually see like 4 at a time.
Yeah, there's a few different views that can be helpful.
And it depends on the operating system you're using. Like I have an iPad. If you're on a PC, it's different. So, yeah, they're different things.
Can you hear me now? This is Chris.
I hear you, Chris. Oh, I like that view.
Leota's there. Hi, Leota. Good morning, good morning.
Chris and Bob, you did it.
Hi, Bob.
Hi, Chris and Bob. You did it.
Hey, you guys. Pam, she's all ready to rock and roll there. Love that background, Pam.
Yeah, that's a good churchy one.
You'll see
Better than
David's
my
got a
favorite.
new background today too. Those curtains that God, Roseanne, who made that? I think Roseanne made those curtains back when we were in the dojo.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those were the ones from the strip mall.
Right.
Oh, strip mall. There you
The
go.
strip
She made
mall.
all the curtains. She made all the
Across
curtains.
from the
Yeah.
post office.
Yeah, that's the one. So he has them behind him today and look great. Hey, Glenn, good morning. Bert, good morning.
Hi, Jenna.
Hi. I don't know who said that.
Chris. Gabrielson.
Hi, Laura.
Hi.
And Barbara is in San Francisco.
Oh, I saw her online too. So Barbara, good going all the way from San Francisco. Are you stuck in San Francisco for this whole time then?
Oh, no.
Good morning, Barbara.
I'm in Broomfield.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I just thought it was a nice picture. I don't like
Yes.
having a picture.
We like it.
Hi, Carol.
Hi, Carol.
Hello, Carol.
You have to unmute yourself, Carol. Let's see here. Who haven't I said hi to? Diane, you have iPhone in front of you, so I
Hello.
can't read your name right away. Hi. And Mark is on. And Glenn's on. And Bert's on. Yay.
Way to go, Bert. That technology guy.
I just see
Hi, Jim Browning.
I don't see me.
Oh, we see you.
I don't. Well,
Hey, Jim. Good morning.
Yeah, I haven't. I forgot to find the setting where I can get more than 9 people at a time, but for this one, I can see who's here and how. I can't necessarily see them, but I can see the names.
We have 20 or more now, so on an iPad it's hard to see everybody.
I think it's maybe possible to change the setting, but actually the Zoom Help Center was running slow this morning. They said due to heavy use, which is
Hi,
not.
Heidi. Or no, that's a cat. We saw the cat's butt today.
They like to show those off.
Something everybody needs on Sunday morning.
Thank you, puppy. Aw, there's Amber.
Amber says hi. Hi.
Hi. Can't tell, is that Amber?
Baby, it's okay.
Control the volume, Jeff.
Yeah, I am.
Your dog is so cute, Doreen.
Big belly though. Big belly. Woo.
Oh, he's well loved. Hey,
Hi,
Jeff.
Rose.
Big belly.
Oh my gosh.
Where did Rose pop up from?
And then click the arrow.
You're talking, but we can't hear you.
Oh, the up arrow there? Yeah.
You have to unmute. There you are.
Leslie.
Rose, how are you doing?
Not so well today. I'm in quarantine. 48 hours.
Wow.
And I'm on some prescriptions till the end of the week. They found upper respiratory in the left lobe of my lung. So both Shanice and I are on antibiotics right now.
Wow.
Carrying it.
It's up here. Output is on.
Well,
So yeah.
I'm sorry to hear you're not feeling well, but I'm glad you're getting taken care of.
Yeah, they were real good. I went into work in the morning and I was tested and released by about 11 or 12 yesterday.
Oh,
For
geez.
those of you who don't know, Rose is on the front lines at Kaiser.
Oh. There's David.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Hi, David.
Good morning.
David.
Good morning, David.
How are y'all doing?
Good.
Pretty good.
Got a crowd this morning.
Yeah, we're learning.
I got my coffee. We're good.
With Jeff's help.
Cheers with coffee.
Hi, Trinity.
So, I've been hearing that everybody's been checking in. Doing okay, everyone?
Awesome, awesome.
Thumbs up. Yeah. Thumbs down.
Medium. Thumbs up.
That's medium.
Oh, medium.
You're medium.
Medium.
Been home in bed for 5 weeks.
Well, welcome. Shall we start with a prayer? Now,
Yes.
for those of you that haven't been to our Sunday morning Zooming, the prayer is going to be, I'll offer the prayer, and then we'll open it up for contributed or for requested prayers. And with the requested prayers, offer the name of the person that you'd like prayers for, and as well the condition, not a detailed description, but health or prosperity or peace of mind or whatever. And we'll offer that one at a time, and then as we have considered it, I will say, and so it is, and then we'll go to the next offered prayer, okay? So the intention is to hold the requested prayer in mind for just a moment from heart space and offer your love to that person and see that person's condition being healed, whatever that condition is. So, a couple of weeks ago, Unity Worldwide Ministries offered a prayer that I think is a great prayer, and it's not the extemporaneous prayer that I usually offer. I will read this, and then I will ask for requested prayers. So, in the awareness of God's presence here and now, as we rest in the quiet, we know that God is a love that has no end and a power that knows no bounds. God's healing power of divine life is restoring, healing, and revitalizing our world in this very moment. We let go of any fears or anxieties, and we affirm that we are all safe, healthy, and protected. We bless all those who support us in maintaining vibrant, radiant health. We express divine life in all we think, say, and do. We bless our global family with radiant health, peace of mind, and abundant love. And so it is. Offered prayers, please.
For Mark and Rose for health.
And so it is.
For Dan Miller, protection.
And so it is.
For all my family members that are still needing to go out and work and help keep them safe.
For Don Grove on the other side.
For Janine
And so it
Stanley.
is.
For Janine Stanley in Walmart every day. And for my friend Sue Clark, who is recovering from kidney surgery.
And so it is.
For Leslie and upcoming surgery.
And so it is.
For all medical workers and first responders, health.
And so it is.
For Skylar Mabry, who is in college in England and staying the course, quarantined.
And so it is.
For Keith Sanders and health.
And so it is.
For all those who are not abiding to the stay put orders, to give them wisdom and the strength to abide so that we can eradicate this virus sooner than later.
And so it is.
For all those who don't understand yet that truth is the way.
And so it is.
For our politicians to look after the common good.
And so it is.
So I have to that. Okay, that. Come on.
To get it, I'll show you. That's weird. This is the video made.
Oh.
Hi, Carol.
Push that. And it takes that. Turns your video on.
And so it is.
What is he doing, Howard? Where's he going?
And in the awareness that God is present in all of these conditions, God's love embraces and lifts, heals and transforms. And for this awareness of God's love, we give thanks. And so it is that together we say, Amen.
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 Well, we're going to try something here. We'll see how this goes. Okay. We're going to sing. You ready? Now I want you all to unmute.
Yay!
Yeah, I know. It's exciting stuff, huh?
Yay!
Help us, Clarence.
So,
Trinity, you're going to help lead, right?
We're going to unmute. Now, Patrick and I were practicing this back, I don't know, prior to 9 o'clock or whenever it was we first got on, and it was interesting because there is a delay between the host and the participants in the sound. Okay, so I'm going to mute myself, and I will direct according to your singing. Okay, so I will go on mute, and we will begin with, or we will have one song. We're doing one song.
That's a good idea.
And
if it's in a
so we're
around.
so yeah, it's not around.
There you go.
So
Yay! I
Well,
can
do the
see it.
words.
See it. Great.
Are you able to see it yet?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. One thing I need to do is I need
He wants to do it in a round.
for all of our,
No round.
No round.
no round here. All right, that's
No
not
round.
going to work. I'm going to have to go here. All right.
Jive either. You have to scroll down the screen too, David.
Yeah. Well, I need to share it first. Come back. As I said,
We see you
you see me. Okay.
And we see
in the corner. In
the top part of the song. Yeah.
And you see the top part of the song.
Yeah.
First four lines.
That's not it. My window's here.
Okay, that's getting better.
You know, one of the nice things about this is you get to practice forgiveness.
Good thing they didn't hear us this morning.
Yeah, exactly right. All right, slight intro, and here we go.
Spirit, healing, I will pray. Every time I feel the Spirit moving in my heart, I will pray. We got to get together here. My Lord's smoke out of his mouth, fire and smoke in the valley, on my knees. Ask my Lord, have mercy, please. Every time I feel the Spirit moving in my heart, I will pray. Every time I feel the Spirit moving in my heart, I will pray. Jordan River, surely told, is the body, but not the soul. All around me looks so fine. Ask my Lord if all was mine. Every time I feel the Spirit moving in my heart, I will pray. Every time I feel the Spirit moving in my heart. The one train that runs this track, it runs this heaven, runs right fast. It is come on, children, don't be late. Every time I feel the Spirit moving in my heart. I will pray every time I feel the Spirit moving in my heart. I will pray. I was on mute.
I'm glad Clarence was sitting next to me to help because I actually had him.
Well done, everybody.
Place for a larger venue.
Sounded like the Tower of Babel.
It reminded me a little bit of like a grade school choir concert, you know, where you got like kindergarten through third grade and
preschool.
Preschool. A challenged accompanist and no conductor. There you go.
So, did you have fun anyway?
Yeah.
All right.
That was wonderful.
We just need one of those little
So,
bouncy
David,
red balls
we
on the
lost
road.
your image.
Yeah.
So we couldn't see you conducting.
Oh, well, that was because your screen was moving back and forth, and I was on mute, or I was not on mute, but I wasn't saying anything. I was just following your guys' lead.
I think if we heard the music louder, we'd be able to keep up with it too.
Oh, well, that may be, and if there's a way for me to control that.
Gotta get that guitar out there.
Clarence.
Yeah.
Clarence, that's him right there, Clarence. Yeah, I like singing. We got to do that some more.
I don't know if that would have helped.
I don't know if the acoustic guitar would have been loud enough anyway.
Yeah, maybe a shorter song.
I don't know if Leonard Bernstein could have helped that one.
You know, I was talking with Doug this week about his participating as a music leader, and I frankly don't know how we're going to do that, but we're going to be in conversation this week about whether or not that will work. So,
Andrew's got his guitar out.
Andrew does. Well, Andrew, why didn't you?
I just want to butt in since you're chit chatting and say hi to my dad down in New Mexico.
Oh, is she here?
In Mexico.
WEDD down there.
I did.
Hey, Wed.
Yeah.
And I see
you can
Chris
change
and
his
Bob
name to
got on
Dan.
today, huh?
Dan.
Yeah.
Yeah, good for you.
Oh,
And John, how are you? You're muted though, John.
In the lower left, there is a microphone icon that has a slash through it if you're muted. If you want to speak temporarily, I mean, you can unmute your mic, or you can just hold the space bar down if you have a keyboard, and that will temporarily unmute you. So, well, it's been an interesting time, eh?
Indeed.
How are you all doing? I mean, in general, are you hanging in?
Doing good.
Hanging out at the house.
You're supposed to be hanging in at the house. So,
a lot of people.
I hear you're expecting.
I'm sorry?
Is that Kisty?
Yes, it is.
Hey, Kissy.
You didn't.
Hi, all.
Hello. I've gotten every single machine updated in the house. Every computer, every even our GPS, which hadn't been updated for 2 years. Every machine around here is roaring now.
Your clocks are all set at the right time precisely? I mean, when one changes, do they all change at the same time?
You know me, David.
We're not that bad.
Oh, there's Dan. I see Dan. Hi, Dan.
Later.
All right, so the anal retentives in the audience can go back and get that done this week.
Yeah. So. Thanks for reminding me.
Just one more thing.
How many do we have on there now?
33.
You know,
33.
Our governor has, Polis here in Colorado, has asked us all to shelter in place. And the intention, of course, is to not be contagious. But I'm going to suggest that we'd be contagious. There are ways that we can be contagious that will not adversely affect the health of others, and one of the characteristics of our brain is that there are things called mirror neurons that have a specific purpose of helping you emulate what the other person in your presence is doing, and moreover help you emulate what the other person in your presence is feeling. Have you ever noticed that when you are in the company of someone who's happy, you tend to be uplifted? When you're in the company of someone who's down and out, you're having a difficult time with keeping away from being down and out.
Sounds like a sort of telepathy.
Yeah, it is. These mirror neurons are providing us with a social empathy. They are allowing us to build community. They're allowing us to be in partnership with the person that we're with. And that has served us very, very well over the course of the millennia. We are social animals, and this mirroring effect that is built into us is an important socialization, community building function. So we can make use of that. We can make use of that by being the uplifting presence, by being the model that others in your presence can participate with, to draw them into if you will, a higher level of experience. So what are some of those behaviors or emotions that are beneficial for others to emulate, for us to model?
A smile.
Oh, a smile. A smile is very contagious.
This Pam typed in good vibes.
Good vibes.
Patience.
Patience.
Eye contact.
Eye contact.
Sharing.
Caring.
Your stuff. Sharing your stuff.
Sharing. Being open.
Staying.
and yeah, okay.
Staying calm.
I heard three things.
Listening.
Listening.
Staying calm.
Staying calm. Tim, you had?
Being thankful.
Being thankful. Gratitude.
You know, David, that World Healing Meditation by John Randolph Price, I think covers that really good.
Just the pace of your breathing, if you're breathing shallow or if you're sending out stress, lower your breath down lower into your abdomen. You can send out more of a calming vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Having an open heart, open mind, loving heart, and pure intent.
Now, some of these characteristics, some of these behaviors, emotions, are more easily transmitted. They're a more powerful contagion, if you will. And in the face of the other person being very down, or being very fearful, or being closed off and defensive, it is difficult to draw them out. So we need to have a minimum of expectations as we are consciously working to model this this higher level of energy, this higher consciousness, if you will. But it is important to know that whatever we are able to do, it will have some minimal effect, if not maximal effect, but it will have some effect on the other. So even when we're joyful and exuberant and high energy, and the other person just is not moving at all, don't lose heart, because that effect that you are radiating is being picked up. The thing about the mirror neurons is that it's a subtle nonverbal. You can hear people saying how excited they are, how happy they are, but if they're not feeling that, you can feel the dissonance, can't you? You can see in that personage, somehow you can see, he's just not feeling it this morning. What did you say, Dan? Dan, what did you say?
Yeah, it's my dad. Yeah, Dan Miller.
So this practice that we can engage in, even when we're in isolation, the practice that we can engage in is one of reaching out, whether it be by telephone or by Zoom or just across the fence of the backyard. We can reach out and help others come back into the fold, if you will. Come back into a positive, forthright, a positive and uplifting experience. This isolation can be very difficult for some people. A couple of weeks ago, I mentioned that I could get used to this. I guess that tells me that I'm an introvert. That I'm just fine sitting here behind my desk and communicating via Zoom. But there are some people that find this very, very difficult. And it is those people that need to have contact, that need to have that interaction, that we can reach out to and we can help lift.
Oh, we're glad we're not muted anymore.
Well, you're not muted. You can mute if you want to, or I can mute you if you like.
I see my pretty daughter there now. Yeah. Hi. Okay. Sorry I interrupted. Yeah. Okay.
Hello, Rose.
So the charge, if we choose to take it, our charge is to help others lift, help others stand up, help others be aware that there is more that we have to be thankful for, that there's more that we have to be happy for, that there's more that we can do even in our isolation. So what are your thoughts about this? How can you reach out, and how can you help lift others? What can you do? What can you do specifically with another person or with some group of people that even in isolation you can help lift their spirits?
One thought
okay.
One thought that I have had recently is, well, David, you are in isolation in terms of work. You do not live alone.
Well, there's that. Yes.
I don't live alone. It's not true isolation. So I do not know what it would feel like if I were truly here by myself. And I know many of you here do know what that feels like. But it's important to reach out and make sure everybody's okay, especially if they do not have a companion in their home with them.
Mm-hmm.
But fewer than 4 legs.
I'd like to share what happened in Fort Collins today. Both Janine and my son's daughter, my granddaughter, Sydney, are celebrating their birthdays today. And the one in Fort Collins is 18, and she has been really feeling the social isolation. Her next door neighbors this morning drew all kinds of beautiful chalk flowers and designs and actually sacrificed a roll of toilet paper to TP the house, the bushes out front. And that has meant so much to her. That gave her a huge lift because she's missing graduation, she's missing all these things. And what?
don't advocate using.
Don't advocate the toilet paper. But anyway, it was really a precious thing. And that's the kind of thing that helps others. And we sit outside our units on our chairs and in the sun. And you'd be amazed how many people walk by and keep a nice distance, and they can still communicate. We're getting to meet more neighbors than we ever did before in this condominium area that we live in.
That toilet paper in the house, that actually increases the appraised value of the house in these times. What were you saying, Rachel?
I was saying I've noticed that I'm getting a lot more via email and text from family and friends who are sending readings, and they're sending music, and they're sending jokes, kind of dark jokes sometimes, but they make you laugh in the midst of it. And people are just really reaching out and remembering each other more now than we usually do.
So are you hearing me, Pam?
Yes, I am.
Oh, good. Okay.
I wanted to say that I've been looking at my neighborhood app, and there was somebody on there who was making bread for everybody around her. I don't know. She just has a talent or a desire to make bread, and she was asking the neighborhood for more flour and sugar. And fortunately, I had a lot of extras in my pantry, and so I was able to clean out my pantry and deliver a huge box of flour, sugar, salt, and other baking supplies that I know I'm never going to use, and deliver them down the street. So sharing your extras with someone else who needs it is another way to pass the good vibes.
Now, I'd like to ask right now, how were you feeling when Pam was describing that? What was your feeling?
Woohoo! Very good.
Yeah.
Awesomeness.
Hungry for bread.
Where does she live?
Doreen?
Oh, I want to let everybody know that we're still doing strengthening to lengthening online. I mean, it's no cost. It's just, sometimes I have technological glitches because I've got all my technology up, but sometimes I run into problems. But I'm still going forward with that. I still have a few people that are here that come online, but I'm still going forward with that. I do it for myself, but it's also something that I am happy to give to others. So I encourage you, if you want to join, there's no cost. You just get on there. It's Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And so,
Where is it posted? Where is it posted to be able to join?
Well, I've put it on, if I have your email, I can send you the connection. It's on Zoom. And it's Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 9:30 in the morning, 9:30 a.m.
If you want to participate, put your email in the chat box. There's a chat icon at the bottom of the screen. Click on that, and then you can just type in your email address, and I'll forward that to Doreen.
And thinking of that, I would also like that sort of thing. The Center for Journal Therapy, where I got my training as a facilitator, is offering free classes. They have daily things going on. Well, they're not really going on. There's a lot of poetry there, writing prompts, journaling exercises, and a very active message board with people communicating with each other about their experiences. So I have a web link for that, so maybe the same would apply for that with email addresses that I can send out for people who might be interested in that too.
Why don't you put the link in the chat box and people can copy it from there?
Okay, I'll have to go find it because the link is on the pad, or I can find it on the computer and be back. How's that?
Okay, all right. Well, I'd like to go back to the experience that Pam shared and point out that what you were feeling was the mirroring of Pam's experience. So as we share these stories of wonder and miracles, what we're doing is we're stimulating the mirroring for those with whom we share those experiences. So as I think, Rachel, you were pointing out, or I'm not sure who, but or maybe it was Kay, that when we share jokes, when we share quotes, when we share experiences, and whatever uplifting experience that we have, when we share that, what we're doing is we're stimulating that mirroring of our own experience through the description of what we're offering. So,
one of the things we can all do is be vigilant to speaking the truth as best as we can, and using discernment with the communication coming into you constantly.
Yeah, what was it that I think the quote was attributed to Gandhi, but this is not a quote in any case. It's a paraphrase at best. That I won't let anybody else wear their muddy shoes into my mind.
I like that.
Well, getting back to Pam's story, it just highlights that we're all in this together, and that we need to take care of each other.
On that note, I made a huge casserole yesterday that has cabbage in it so it doesn't freeze well, and I'd be more than willing to deliver a serving or two to anyone that lives nearby, because I don't want it to go bad. I was thinking of a way to donate it to the homeless people in the streets and whatnot, but if anybody has a need, just send me a text or whatever. I just put my email in the chat room, so I'd be willing to deliver you a meal.
Also, I've seen people putting up Christmas decorations, and I'm starting to put some lights in my window, and I may put my reindeer out front. I don't know, like my reindeer. I thought that was good.
Did everybody see on April 1st, the night of April 1st, they're asking you to put a single candle out in recognition of all the healthcare workers that are working out there and keeping us safe? And
yeah.
Didn't see that. That's good. Didn't see that.
Thank you.
Yeah, grocery workers too, and other people.
Right.
In the line of fire.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and you have to appreciate the people of New York are mirroring the people of Italy.
Standing out on the balconies and
cheering for the healthcare people.
Yeah.
If any of you have teddy bears, there's a teddy bear for kids drive past. So you might think about putting a teddy bear in the window because they're trying to see how many teddy bears they can find. So that's a drive-by thing to amuse kids.
Oh, that's cool.
Put a name to it. Each teddy bear too.
Mm-hmm. It's like a neighborhood scavenger, and there's actually a map for that.
So we are buying. We're making puppets, and we're going to have a puppet show FaceTime with little kids in the neighborhood because they're bored.
Yeah. Oh, that's a cool idea.
Yesterday, there's a really funny Jimmy Fallon YouTube doing his show from home, but Tina Fey in her neighborhood in New York, they organized a talent show of all the kids' friends, and then they broadcast it on Zoom for all the grandparents. That's really fun.
I just posted the candle thing on the Unity webpage on our Facebook page. So if anybody needs the details, I just posted it there.
Okay.
Thank you.
One of the things I suggest we all don't do is April Fool's jokes about the virus.
Too soon, you're saying?
Huh?
Is that too soon?
Yeah.
Well, I want to share one joke that I don't think will be offensive, John. Somebody said to me, oh, the devil says you will never get through these troubling times. And I said, back off 6 feet.
So any other ideas about how you can share and uplift and stimulate the mirror neurons of those with whom you're interacting at 6 feet?
FaceTime.
FaceTime?
Yeah, I FaceTime several friends and relatives recently, just because I'm here by myself going, So it's a lot of fun. I went on a virtual date last night. That was fun.
Also, calling old friends and family members you haven't talked to in a really long time can lift them up and lift you up to know that they are thought about.
Yeah, we set up a Zoom with our Fort Collins group, and we're going to try and do it with Florida too, whatever you call it. But the Zoom, I love this Zoom. I think it's just great. And I would like to mention to, am I on here? Okay.
Yeah.
For us all to give a thank you to the people that keep our technology going. You know, we say thank you to the medical workers and so on. Where would we be without our technology right now? And being able to reach out on the internet like this, and those that keep that going. I'm sure there are people that do that, right? It's not all mechanical.
And RTD bus drivers, they're out there in the mix
Oh,
of
yeah.
it too, you know. I mean, there's a lot of unsung heroes right now.
Yes.
One other suggestion that
we do fence cocktails. That's what we do.
One other thing, along with the hand washing, they suggest that you use very strong and thick hand lotion, because if you get cracks and everything in your fingers, you're more likely to contract anything. So yes, wash hands, but then moisturize.
Yep.
Yeah, I am absolutely. My hands are cracked open all over the place. Oh, that will be good. I just try and keep them sealed.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it's, in answering your question, I think it's a good time to reach out to heal old wounds. And for instance, there are some people who I haven't been speaking with because we had a disagreement some years ago, and just to pick up the phone and call them. This is a great time to connect and to realize that there's something greater than our petty differences.
Very true.
John Kinnaman, by the way, John and I took a Course in Miracles together back in 1988. He was a facilitator for my first Course in Miracles. And hi, John.
1988. Wow, that was a long time ago.
A coon's age.
He's old.
I just
I think I'm going to leave the meeting, okay?
I'm speaking from
Yeah,
India.
okay. Thank you. This is wonderful to be able to do this. Thank you so much. I'm going to lay down for a little bit. Okay. Bye-bye.
So Dan is Albuquerque,
Yeah.
but John Kinnaman has the distance record. You may not have heard. He's tuning in from India.
Wow. Wow.
Is it Chennai, India?
Why was it there?
John?
Jeez.
Is it Chennai, India?
Yeah. Yeah, thank God for all this. That's great. I'm going to leave now, Pam, okay? Okay. Bye.
Bye, Dan.
By Dan.
Don,
So-
what's it like in India?
So I'd like to move from this into a meditation.
Very briefly, since I disappeared for a while.
Yes.
I cannot find the comment button on the iPad. It's not the same as on the PC. So I have that web link, and I'll post it to Facebook.
Yeah, put it in our Facebook page as a comment.
In Living Waters.
Yeah.
And I'll put it on my own too.
Okay. All right.
Just so you know, in the future, on the upper right-hand corner, those 3 dots, if you click that, that'll show you the chat function.
Well, the chat function, but I need to leave a comment. Is the chat leaving written
Yeah,
comments?
that's where you leave a comment. Yes.
So
Okay.
So chat will show you the dialogue thus far, but at the bottom, you'll be able to put it in.
I have it.
How long can you look at the chat after the meeting?
I'll leave it open. I'll leave it open so you can come back to it. Okay, let's just take a few minutes. Settle back into that quiet space within. That, if you wish, you can call that the altar of God. But as we are resting in this inner quiet space, breathing in and breathing out, in this quiet space, we can affirm that we are powerful beings, that we have a purpose here in this moment, in this hour. We have a purpose in this day, this week, and that purpose sings to us. It is a purpose that allows, in the quiet time, it will come into our awareness. What am I here to do? What can I do in this moment, in this situation, in this relationship, that will lift and transform, that will bring a positive outcome to a situation? What can I do here in this moment to positively affect the person with whom I am in companion? This purpose will feel like a harmony. It will feel as though, of course, this is what I'm meant to do right now. I'm to make that phone call. I'm to bake that dish. I'm to put a teddy bear in the window. Whatever that is, right here, right now, let us affirm that we have the power, we have the skill, we have the know-how to do what we are called to do right now. We are the light of God in this moment. We are the voice of God in this moment. We're the hands, we're the feet of God in this moment. We are the divine. We are the divine actors in this moment. Rest in that awareness, here in this moment. We are powerful divine beings, called to be the action, the agent of God in this relationship, in this situation. And as we engage this divine purpose, we pay attention to how we feel in our heart. How does our heart feel? Does it expand? Does it sing to us? We are the agents of God, right here, right now. Rest in that awareness. Affirm to yourself, I am the agent of God right now. I am called to be an uplifting presence right now. I am empowered to help others right now. In this realization, I feel the love of God moving through me right now. And what I offer without any expectation. I offer without any limitation. I offer without any allocation, but to be the voice, the actor of God right now. And in the awareness that I am empowered to be that which God wishes me to be right now, we give thanks. We give thanks for all that is, for all that isn't. We give thanks for all that will be and all that won't be. We give thanks for all that was and all that wasn't. We give thanks without condition. And so it is that together we say, Amen.
Amen.
Well, thank you all for being here this morning. The room is open. Grab a cup of coffee. Grab some cookies. Share. And we're hanging out.
One thing I'd like to
Jenna,
mention.
your baby's beautiful growing up.
Oh, no, we're not.
We're not.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Hello. Here we are. Hello.
We hear you. We hear you.
Are you hearing, Clarence?
Are you hearing me?
Yes.
Yes, Clarence.
Okay. Good. I did want to mention I had sent out an email to the band like a week ago or whatever, just saying, hey, how's everybody doing? We miss you, so forth and so on. I had heard back from everybody but Patty and Doug, and I heard back from them yesterday. Doug said he's doing fine. He's used to being a hermit anyway, and he's just working on his new condo and getting a studio set up. Patty said she's doing fine, but she's going crazy right now because she's the activity director at a care facility up near Flatiron. It's called Sunrise.
We could have included her in our prayers too.
Yeah. And she said right now Sunrise has a strict policy of no visitors whatsoever. She said the other day she took 100 temperatures of residents up there in one day, which she said was kind of crazy. Some of them are not the most forgiving folks in the world in terms of, being quite elderly and so forth. So she said she's wearing a lot of hats up there now, but so far she's doing okay. She's just busy and trying to work her way through a fairly potentially nasty environment up there at Sunrise. So anyway, I did hear back from her. She's doing okay, but quite busy and a little on the nervous side right now. So I figured I'd throw that out there.
Has anyone heard from Michael? I have tried to get in touch with him. I haven't heard back.
I did.
Okay.
I did. I had a phone conversation with him, a couple phone conversations, a couple texts. Texted him fairly recently. He's doing okay. He's kind of in an isolation sort of situation. He said he does go to the grocery store. He always wears a mask. And he said, if you want people to socially distance from you, wear a mask. wear a mask and walk with a cane when you go to the grocery store. So I did want to contact him. I contacted him about a week and a half ago about Don's passing and so forth. So we have communicated a little bit back and forth in the last week or so. So he's doing all right.
For those of you who don't know, Michael Chodosh was our guitarist for a long time, and several months ago he decided he couldn't be our guitarist anymore because of health issues. And also Don Grove was our percussionist, and he had been battling cancer for about a year and a half or so, and he succumbed to that a week ago Monday. And so, for those of you who don't know, those are the people we are talking about.
By the way, I found that if I walk around with a string hanging out of my mouth, that also provides social distancing.
Pam, have you had any calls for help in the Friends group?
Friends of the family, I decided we would meet on Saturday morning at 10 o'clock to give everybody a heads up. I would like to pair people up that want phone calls, like people who are living alone and need some extra socialization. I haven't had any calls specifically for help, but I'm gathering a resource list for people of things that they can do to help their neighborhood if they want to. And also, I'm running low on bananas and lettuce, and so I might see if some of you nearby have a banana or two.
Pam, would you like to share your email address so that if anybody wants to participate in Friends of the Family, they can contact you?
Sure. Let me put it in the everyone chat here if I can get it. I'll put it up in the chat.
Okay.
Make sure
While she's doing that, I love the idea of the teddy bear, and I don't have any, so I just went online and printed one to be able to put in my window. Because when we moved, we got rid of all that stuff, so you could just, I just took a picture on my phone and I just made it bigger and then printed a full page teddy bear. So he's going in my window.
It'll be easier to keep it in the window anyway.
Hello, Pam.
Carol, where do you live?
I live on Depew Street in Mountain View, which is by Wheat Ridge. So it's only a couple miles from Unity on the living. I keep saying Unity on the river. Keep going back to my old side.
Okay.
Pam, if you can hold your hand out, I got an extra banana here.
We can make some jokes about that too.
Virtual banana.
Hey Rose, how come you're on here today? You're not at work?
No, I am at home on a medical quarantine. I was diagnosed yesterday with pneumonia, and I have something in my left lung mass right now, so I can't be around. I'm on prescriptions until 7 days from now, and then they'll see if I can come back to work or not.
Please. Do you need anything, Rose?
No, it's just I'm contagious right now, so I'm totally at home and locked in my four walls here. And they were really good. I was just diagnosed yesterday, so I was sent home from work.
Good.
So
how's your daughter? How's your daughter?
We are not corresponding right now.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh, sorry.
You just take care of you. That's the most important thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Clarence, I assume you didn't mean to wear a mask like the one in the movie with Jim Carrey.
No.
Hey, that'd be a good thing to get though.
Yep. I'm assuming Michael meant a regular surgical mask, but he said, yeah, when he goes to the grocery store, he gets plenty of social distance. So.
Could try something like Zorro and see if that would work.
Yeah, there you go.
It sounds like a good
There are various instructions online about how to make masks if you're a sewer, and even how to make them out of paper towels and rubber bands stapled to the ends.
I'm starting a project today making masks as best as I can. I've figured out what filter I'm going to put in them. So if any of you need masks, 1, 2, 3, for your family, for yourselves, let me know, and I will somehow get those distributed.
Post your email.
What filter material are you using, Sue?
I decided on a ground cover, that barrier that you use between your rocks and your ground or grass.
Oh.
That or vacuum cleaner bags.
I have
HEPA filters.
There's somebody on the neighborhood app who is making N95 quality masks with vacuum cleaner bag. Especially the one that has a HEPA filter. He said that he can make 50 to 100 masks with just using a little tiny part of that. He cuts them up and he puts them on a 3D printed mask. And I was able to clean out my old... We've had about 3 vacuums in the last 5 years, and I have a lot of old vacuum cleaner bags. And so email me if you want that contact too.
By the way, the difference...
It's a very big debate within the circles. I think they're very good for people who already have cough, sniffles, and are going to try and keep from spreading. But if you're out in the field and needing to be exposed to people all the time, then I think the N95, the real thing, is what you need to kind of acquire.
Yeah, the difference between an N95 and a HEPA filter is an N95 has a porosity, a hole size of 0.3 microns. A HEPA filter has a pore size of 3 microns. So there's a difference of a factor of 10 between the HEPA filter and the N95. So an FYI.
Yeah.
Right.
There, like Sue was saying, there are certain places that will use or can use only certain things, and I think Kaiser was being very specific about what came to them, and anything you make and donate will of course be sanitized, but one of my contacts on the neighborhood app is somebody that works for a charity organization that works for the public, and they don't qualify to use masks necessarily, but one of those lower qualities will protect them.
This is Chris. Lutheran Hospital has put out a call for people to come to the hospital to make
one of us are watching or
They've
listening.
got all the materials, and they just don't have enough people who know how to use a sewing machine, and they have a whole bank of sewing machines. they need masks for their staff, and they need people to come and make them with the materials and sewing machines they have at Lutheran.
I'll look into that. Thanks, Chris.
Lutheran is on 38th, right?
If you use a mask for your own protection, you should also wear some eye protection too, because that's another way that the virus can enter. So,
right.
Just and the doctors and so on have a shield, but like I have these glasses I'm always wearing all the time anyway. Something like that. Wear your sunglasses. But that's only if you're in close quarters and you're really exposed to something.
John, before we get off, because we're going to get out of here, how are things in India? Very briefly, what is the situation like?
Well, I think it's kind of similar. There's a lockdown. Everybody's ordered to stay at home now they've extended it until April 15th. So one difference here is that it's not just a good idea. They enforce it. And the police and even the military are out. And there's reports of people not violating the curfew and getting beaten. They have these fiberglass sticks, so they're very serious about it here. I did a grocery store run here. Here's the results of my trip. And it was I felt like Bonnie and Clyde. I went with a neighbor around the back streets, and the store owner, and we went in after hours in the store. So it's a little different, but I think Mark Twain said it, that anything that has ever happened or ever could happen has happened in India, so they will do well.
Okay. All right. Thank you for the update. You be safe, huh?
So the police and everybody's enforcing staying at home in India. Yeah, that's what she said. He said.
Hi, Nella. I hear you're 14 now.
Yeah. Good to see you.
Happy birthday. Belatedly.
Happy birthday.
All right, guys, we need to go, so we'll catch you later.
Bye, Dick and Sandy.
All right.
Bye, Dick.
Bye.
See you later, Sandy.
Bye. Be safe.
Yeah, we're going to go get Janine and bring her up here. So,
okay.
Her birthday today.
Oh, wish your happy birthday for me. Let's see. I see Jeff. There's Lois. Okay. Cool.
It's good to see Chris and Bob. I've known you've been in on certain Zoom meetings, but never been able to see you.
David spent about 45 minutes with me yesterday helping me get this set up. So thank you, David.
Oh, you're welcome. Hey. You're empowered now.
Yes. Woo-hoo.
I want to say thank you too. I haven't been actively talking, but I've been very much part of this today and felt very uplifted by it. So thank you so much.
Good.
Nice to see you, Liz.
Thank you. Good to see all of you. Bye.
I wanted to share just a quick thing. Our soon-to-be son-in-law in LA makes his living as a stand-up comedian, and of course, no way he can be doing that right now. So he and 3 other comedians, coast to coast, New York to LA, did a Zoom stand-up last night. So
Nice.
we got to watch 4 comedians do their stand-up routines in their living rooms, and it was quite interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That's
And
a
hopefully
difficult
funny.
thing to do without audience reaction. It's
Well, they did ask us to leave our mics on so that we could hoot and holler and scream and
Got to have that feedback.
yeah, and they actually had to shut it off early because they had a heckler who just wouldn't shut up. It would be really obnoxious. But
Wow.
they've done this twice now. So it'll be next Friday night too, hopefully.
Well, let your son know that managed participants, you can actually block people, so the heckler can be shut down quickly.
The woman who was managing the group could not figure out where he was coming from. She tried and tried and tried. So she ended up having to shut the whole thing down because he was really getting bad. But I guess that's a rare occurrence.
Well, the way she can do that is mute all, and then the person that comes on to heckle will unmute their microphone, and she can identify it.
I will pass that along.
Okay. You're welcome. I have to deal with hecklers all the time, so I'm familiar with how that goes. I see
Chris,
a
can
Tom.
we get the link?
Go ahead.
Chris, I was just going to say, can we get the link somehow?
I will try to send that out. And it won't be until next Friday about, 7:30? 7:30 our time. And our daughter will send us a link again next week, but I will send you the link, and that way, if you want to join, you can. They also take donations via Venmo. They split them among themselves. So if anybody wants to do a Venmo thing, I don't know how to do that, but some people do.
And by the way, we take donations via PayPal, so or you can go to our website to the donate button. Thanks for bringing that up, Chris.
Yeah.
I see Tom on here. Tom, I haven't heard you say anything.
Welcome.
I guess Tom is not there. Okay.
So I saw that Pam asked if I got a new job, and the timing was just unreal with this thing. I had an interview, and the Friday that everything started to get shut down was the day that he was supposed to make a decision. And I think I pretty much was his choice, and he's said that he'd remain in contact with me once this is all over. But obviously now is not the time to hire somebody when he doesn't know, how his company is going to be affected.
Yeah.
So I'm still continuing at my job. We've been working from home. I have to go in tomorrow and Friday to do some physical stuff, but otherwise it's still been going on, and I'm glad to still have work.
Yeah. Thank you, God.
There are still people, believe it or not, looking for apartments in Boulder, so we're having to try to do virtual tours or, get them to sign a sight unseen because they can't actually view them. So it's been kind of interesting. And I was in the process of trying to figure out the price and the repairs that would need to be done and whatnot to put in a contract on the condo that I live in right when all this happened. So now that's all on hold. So just working now and in a holding pattern, waiting to see how things shake out when this passes.
Paul and I have a friend who had to move. He's recently divorced, and he was living with a friend out in Golden, and he's been compromised, for a few years, and he had to move in. He moved into a new apartment, brand new building, and it was the first day of the Colorado shutdown where you weren't supposed to be doing non-essential things. And so Paul actually had to go, help him, but try to stay 6 feet away from him and move his stuff into his new apartment.
Yeah, we have a lot of people that are freaking out because they're students or they're bartenders, waiters, and I spent most of last week kind of being the point person on sending out the rent hardship email about what we could do to help, and now we're taking in affidavits for people that want rent payment assistance. They have to prove that they've applied for unemployment and whatnot. So yeah, it's been busy. I didn't think it would be as busy as it is, but just because of the nature of the industry, it's busier than I thought. And we do have people still planning, they are, getting their PhD and starting in the fall in Boulder and coming from other states, and they need to find an apartment. So they're still moving ahead on those plans.
David,
Yes.
will there be a virtual celebration of life for Dawn?
Linda, Don's first wife, Linda is in charge of managing that. I'm in touch with her, but there's been no decision that she's conveyed to me regarding that.
Okay, thank you.
We're gonna sign off. Nice to see you all.
Jenna, Nella, great to see you. Thanks for being here.
Take care.
Take care. See ya.
Be safe.
Pam, what's going on with your husband's job situation?
Right before all this hit the fan, or maybe the boss just saw it coming and cut his hours and then cut him completely, and that business is shut down because of the whole state shut down anyway. Paul and I are contemplating if he's going to be applying for some sort of a delivery thing, but Paul and I are over 60, and Paul's being super, super careful because he has diabetes. So he wants to make sure that everybody, any company that he works for is going to support all the sanitary things that need to happen. And so he hasn't quite applied for that. It's just kind of up in the air right now, along with me wanting to go down and see my dad and help him out while he's kind of going crazy being in solitude. But he does have a friend that comes over and a couple people that call him. So his job situation, to put it shortly, put it briefly, is kind of linked with the household. You know, we're trying to figure out what we're going to do. Thanks for asking.
What does he do again, Pam?
Pardon me?
What does he do?
He was working security for a small company near 58th and I-25. Just a friend of his has a business over there. And so he's thinking that he could drive, you know, and deliver food or things like that.
Trinity.
Yes.
Do you work for a property management company?
Yeah. It's a property management company that actually owns the buildings. So they're the owners.
Oh, okay. Would you leave your email in the comments? I'd like to email you and ask you some questions about things, because we have some rentals and we're not knowing what to do, how to handle people when they come up with problems, and I want to do it right, but I don't have anybody for that. So.
All right.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go. See y'all.
Have a good day, Pam or Sue. Have a good day. By the way, we have a gathering tomorrow night, and that's a discussion group. The discussion, I had it here. The discussion is building connections in isolation. We've been talking about that tonight, or today, but we can carry on with that discussion or come up with something new. But that's going to go on at 7 o'clock tomorrow evening.
Okay.
Y'all have a safe week. We'll talk to you next Sunday.
Thank you, Patrick, for help.
All right. Bye now.
Bye.
Okay. See ya.
I'm going to hang out.
See you later.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Hi, Adrian.
What'd you say, Pam?
I said, hi, Adrian.
Oh, hi, Adrian. Yeah.
She left the picture, and so I said, hi, Adrian.
Yeah, sometimes it's interesting to keep track of whether or not everybody can see and hear you. Sometimes I see somebody doing something and go, do you know I can see you?
Yeah.
It's happened. I mean, nothing serious, but it's been kind of funny from time to time.
Yeah, we had someone brushing their teeth while their video was on last week.
Yeah, I did see that.
Oh, John.
You're a tease, John. You're a tease.
Just trying to lighten things up.
Well, it's interesting because I have a really good stock of food. I mean, not to the point of hoarding, I don't think, but I have a well-stocked fridge, well-stocked pantry, well-stocked little freezer in the basement. And last night I'm going, can I get by without my Parmigiano Reggiano? Because I love it. And fresh produce. It's when am I going to break down? I haven't been to the store in about 10 days. And I have plenty of food and can maintain good nutrition. But when do I break down and say there are some things I really want? I'm going to go out and get them. I don't know when that happens.
Well, senior hour at Costco is 8 to 9 on Tuesday and Thursday.
And it's jammed. From all I've heard, they've allowed like 1 or 2 hours for seniors, underestimating the number of seniors. And I've heard from at some stores, they have huge lines for those 2 hours that are designated every week for seniors. And it's much easier to just, it's less crowded if you just go during regular hours. So I don't know which I'll do.
By the way, King Supers has dropped their fee for pickup. You can figure out how to order.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. It said you could get your food picked up within a few days. It's not like it's, hey, we'll run it out to the curb for you now. And especially with fresh produce and things, I kind of like to pick my own. So I haven't decided if I'll do that or not. Yeah.
Well, I've taken to order online. I pick it up. One time I went to King Supers. It was a store close to me, and that I had to wait about 2-3 days to be able to pick it up. Yesterday, I just ordered with Walmart on off of 112th, I think it is, or 121st, and I'm going to be able to pick that up at 5 o'clock. And I've been pretty happy with it. They give you substitutes every once in a while, but I don't have to go in. And then I ordered Petco. Petco, if you order like over $30 worth of stuff, there's no charge, and they're gonna no charge for mailing it to you. So I'm gonna have my dog food. So I'm not going out.
Yeah, we found that Chewy also for pet food.
Yeah.
At first we thought that would be very expensive, and then we found out that Heidi's food was this. Well, PetSmart didn't have Heidi's food anymore. But that Chewy's was the same price as PetSmart, and the shipping was free, and it was here in a couple days. So they're doing good too. You can check their website for pet things if you need to see who's doing the best.
Prime delivery, does that work?
What?
Yeah, delivery. My sister had it delivered. There's usually a backup with King Supers. There's usually there'll be no dates so that you can schedule one. But if you're persistent, and if you go like late at night or really early in the morning, sometimes people cancel. And my sister was able to get next day delivery, and they brought it up. They brought it into their garage so they could let it just kind of settle, because my brother-in-law is kind of a germaphobe, I guess. And so they let it settle in the garage and cleaned everything up, but they were really happy with the way it turned out. But they didn't go to the King Supers close to where they live. They live in Jefferson County on the other side of Wadsworth, and they went to one of the King Supers off of, I think it's way down on Indiana or something like that. Anyway, so they ordered from there, and they pretty much had everything. And actually, when I ordered from Walmart, I was able to get one package of toilet paper. They actually had toilet paper. I was amazed.
In India, people don't use it here.
Yeah. Well, maybe that'll be our transition. We'll transition to the day. I don't know.
Yeah, there are little bidet attachments that you can get for your toilet that are they're relatively inexpensive.
Yeah. I don't understand why we'd want to do that when you could just wash up.
Yeah, get in the shower.
They had a new shipment of toilet paper at the Costco in Louisville, because my grandnephew posted about that, only they wouldn't let him buy more than one. He was going to ask friends if they needed it. But Clarence and I, fortunately, before this whole thing blew up, for decades, we've just bought a bale of toilet paper whenever we need it and put it out in the garage. And fortunately, we had just purchased one before all of this went crazy. Chris and our son had to borrow some. He's not going to bring it back. But we're still doing okay.
What do we have on the phone that's trying to speak there?
Who is
Speak up.
Who's 303-452-5090?
303-452-5090. That's mine. This is Bert.
Oh, that's Bert. Okay. All right.
Your name came off of your phone, so we wanted to check and see who you were. Thank you for joining us today.
Well, I tried with the speaker, and my speaker didn't. I couldn't get through.
So he's on his computer plus his telephone. So
I see.
Right.
Bert, do you live alone?
Yes.
Do you need anything?
No, my daughter just brought me a whole bunch of stuff yesterday.
Good to hear.
Yeah.
What part of town do you live in?
North Glen?
Okay, not far from some of us.
Yeah, that is far. Yeah.
Not far, for some of us are in the north part of town. So
Yeah.
if you need anything, be sure you reach out.
Well, by the way, yesterday I got the kind of feeling to start using the World Healing Meditation by John Randolph Price, and that seems to be very good at this time.
Hmm.
And you can get that on the internet if you want. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to type that in here. John Randolph Price.
It's World Healing Meditation by John Randolph Price. They say that when everybody prayed, that's what brought down the Berlin Wall. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what they say.
Now, I know we've had Lee on here with us. Has she let us know how Dee is doing? Is all well with her?
Well, she's had problems on Wednesday when she was supposed to come do the online yoga class. She was having problems with her internet. So I don't know. I haven't contacted her. I guess I'll probably call her today to see if she's, if her internet's back up.
Are you saying D or Lee?
D.
Oh, Lee.
Lee does the exercising, but her sister is Dee. David, have you talked to Dee, or has anyone talked to Dee?
I have talked with Dee several times, it turns out, harassing her to get her to to let me help her come online. And she's just, she's Dee. She's got her mind made up that she doesn't want to fool with all that falderall. So, but I keep harassing her. And I've actually talked to Lee about convincing her sister, but Lee says, Dee, she's pretty stubborn. And I said, yeah, I can relate to that. I understand.
Yeah, you made a comment about Betty. Does anyone have word from Betty?
I talked with Betty 5 days ago, maybe 6 days ago. It's the first part of the week. And she's doing fine. Her daughter is helping her, and so yeah, she said that she would try to phone in, but I didn't see her this morning. So.
All right, everybody. I'm gonna say goodbye and crawl back in bed.
Be well, Rose. Holding you in the light.
Get your rest.
We love you, we bless you, and we appreciate you just the way you are. Get better.
Hallelujah. I am who I am. Okay. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, sweetie.
Bye-bye.
Well, I'm going to leave I'm going to leave the room open so you can go to the chat and you can copy down whatever you want to copy over there. You all be blessed. Know that you're protected in God's healing light all the time. I guess John has... Oh, John, you're there. Okay.
Yeah. I'll sign off and I'll take us back to, what did you say it was, 1988? And just say, expect a miracle, everybody.
1988, yes. Is Patty over there with you, John?
I'm here by myself in our house, and she is about 2 hours drive from here at an ashram, and she's working there and helping there. So we're both isolated, but in different places.
Well, when you see her, tell her hugs and loves at a social distance from me, okay?
Yeah, well, we're not separated when we're in different. When I'm in Colorado and she's here, we've got the planet surrounded.
Yeah.
All right. Well, blessings.
All right.
You all have a wonderful week, and you know how to get in touch with me.
Mm-hmm. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Blessings.
Bye. Bless you and thank you.
You bet.
Thanks for joining us, Tom.
Yes, good to see you.
Good to see you all after a long, not seeing many of you for quite a while. So,
John, how are you doing?
oh, I don't like to isolate. I'm not fond of isolating. I live alone, so I'm having some difficulties with that. But, I'm networking like crazy on the phone. I call somebody, 3 or 4 people at least every day, and kind of rotate because I don't want to constantly call the same people. Everybody's calling family and friends, and we're all just trying to network. So I'm holding up pretty well. I made my last outdoor trip to the store last week, and I'm ordering online now and doing all the precautions. A lot of you don't know I had congestive heart failure to begin the year, so it was a life changer, of course. But as far as that aspect, I'm doing real well. I've been improving, and all the vitals are good, and I'm doing well on that. So I'm recovering pretty well. I was looking forward to March being a good time to get out and socialize again, but I don't think the timing's right now. But I'm trying to hang in there and reach out to people and do the best I can. I work on my writing and art, and I'll probably get involved, dive into that today too. So I'm trying to hang in there.
Remember that we have a gathering at 7 o'clock on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday each week. So watch out for your email, because I'm sending out email notices at 6 o'clock in the morning on the day of the event.
Oh, great.
So keep an eye on email. In fact, because we've covered much of what I had planned for the discussion tomorrow night, I'm open for suggestions on topics for discussion. So let me know if you have any ideas about relevant topics to discuss tomorrow night.
Okay. We'll take it over. It's about how to beat isolation. Is not to beat isolation, but to
reach out,
harmonize with it.
Harmonize. Thank you.
Yeah, get outside once in a while. Just go outside and take a deep breath and appreciate the nature.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I go for a walk when I can every day.
Yeah. It just makes you shift.
Go for a bear hunt.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
In the stock market, or no?
No, that's what they call the teddy bears in the windows. They call that's a bear hunt for the kids. So, but it's not restricted to kids. You can, as an adult, you can go for a bear hunt too.
Oh, cool. Be like bears in the window then.
Yeah.
Waving at them.
Someone say that there was a map or an app for that or something to mark where your bear is or something for parents.
I don't know. Sometimes next door has that kind of thing for different neighborhoods, but I'm not sure about the bear hunts. I know our next door does have a map for people who have things that they can offer, and for people who need things, so you can see if one of your neighbors needs something. So that's kind of cool. But I haven't heard about the bears.
Also, in the parking lot of Seacrest Elementary at 64th and Pierce, I think it was from 9 a.m. today to 6 p.m., they have a table set out where people can drop off their things that they want to donate and take what they need. So if somebody brings a bunch of toilet paper and you need a roll, you can just grab one. And other things too. So I guess that's something that's been really successful, and it's been on Sundays for those of you who live in this area.
Keep in mind that the coronavirus will stay on a surface. I saw that it's been shown that 17 days after occupation by a coronavirus patient, the COVID-19 was still showing up in surfaces within a room that was occupied by a COVID patient. Also, 72 hours is the duration of COVID on paper products. So if you do pick things up, have your antiseptic wipes close by.
We've been using gloves and spraying things with Lysol before we bring them into the house.
70% alcohol also works.
And be aware that the Lysol is very poisonous to cats and dogs too. So
that's right.
Be careful.
Very careful with that Lysol.
Yeah. I put together. I got some Z-Fold towels. I got a case of Z-Fold towels, or 2,000 towels, for $21 from Amazon, and I take about 60 or so of those. I put them in a large flat container that has a top on it, and I soak them with half a bottle of alcohol. And so I have sanitary wipes that are about 2.5 cents a piece. So that's something you might also want to consider.
My grandson, Riley, sneezed on my desk the last time he was here, but that was a long time back, so maybe the papers are okay now. I was just going, dude, what are you doing?
They're not being very careful, are they?
Well, they're kids.
They're kids, yeah.
Well, I think they are now. They're learning now, too, the older ones.
We all need to learn. We all need to learn, yeah.
Hi, John. I have another suggestion for those of you who are living alone. Put a chair outside in the sun and just wave at people as they walk by or drive by.
Yeah. I don't face the street, but you see people around the parking lot, so I'll keep that in mind. Thank you, Pam.
Are you supposed to sit in that chair that you put outside, Pam? Yeah? Okay. I'm a literalist.
I guess I shouldn't assume people understand that, huh?
Well, set up your iPad on the chair.
That's right. Or just a picture of you on the chair waving.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
With my arms extended.
I remember we as human beings, we need at least 15 minutes of sun a day to keep up our vitamin D. And I think if we seclude too long, we're going to all get sick from not being, getting that vitamin D. So you need to remember that too. When I send the dogs out, even if it's kind of cold, they head right for that sunny spot, and then their heads go up, and they're like sun worshipers. They're sitting out there and they're just soaking it up, and we need to do that too.
Yes.
We need to go out and worship the sun for at least 15 minutes. No hats, no sunscreens. We need to absorb it into our skin.
Well, I saw Tom moving, and then he disappeared. So, did any one of you recognize him? Okay.
No.
I did mention on the neighborhood app about the meeting ID. So it might get to the point where we need to use the same meeting ID but put a password in or something. But we do want to welcome new people if they're.
This is open.
Shad Groverland up in Boulder at Unity of Boulder had a situation that he had a heckler last Sunday, and so he shut down his public his publicity on meeting ID, and he made it only by email invitation. I'm hesitating to do that. I'd rather just, if a heckler comes in, to take a moment to find out who it is and then block them.
So I think people are welcome as far as just to come in and listen. And maybe if he was someone new, say that someone would come into a church service.
Right.
Who was new. He didn't, as long as someone is not a heckler, if they're just here to visit and see what this is about.
That's what we like.
Make it be open.
Yeah, we like having new people.
And Tom was not heckling this morning, so,
Just listening in.
Yep, that's okay too.
John, if there's anything that you need, please let us know. Okay?
Yeah. Well, thank you. Is there a way to contact anybody or? Well,
Friends of the Family, which Pam is coordinating. Friends of the Family is kind of the resource allocator.
All right.
So be in touch with Pam. And Pam, you have put your email into the chat?
Yeah, I hope it came out okay. I don't have my glasses on to see if it was right.
I've got your email, Pam.
And you've got my phone number, John, right?
Phone number, yeah.
On the writer's list.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I am...
In touch.
If you have a lot of bananas, I might actually come by and get a banana.
There it is, pammdenny@gmail.com. Okay.
Right.
Who has eat the banana before it goes? I'll trade you a roll of toilet paper for it. How's that? Just kidding.
Okay, now it's getting weird.
You're saying that it hasn't been weird before? Come on.
It's all subjective, but I think it might have been a little weird before, but I think anybody would agree it's getting weird.
Well, on that note, I'll let my eccentric humor speak for itself. I've got to go. I haven't eaten anything yet today, so I want to get some brunch.
Oh, yeah.
So you all take care, and I really appreciate you being here, and I appreciate you all. So we'll be in touch.
John,
yes.
My phone number 720-935
yes
3999.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. So let me know as well if you have anything that you need and you can't get a hold of Pam.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll do that.
Cool.
Thank you again.
You bet.
Take care.
And remember your connection through the writers group too.
Oh yeah, I'm going to do that Tuesday for sure.
So that's what, at 10 a.m.?
Yeah. You can always join the yoga class. We can do some simple breathing. I hear your breath. You sound kind of short. So I need to encourage you to start breathing a little deeper. Spend some time deep breathing. Doing some tapping, getting that lymphatic fluid moving through your body.
And by the way, I wanted to thank everybody for welcoming my dad to the service today.
Oh, it was so great to see him.
Yeah. He looks great.
It was good to see you.
He's really lonely down there.
He did it. Woo-hoo.
Yeah.
I hope he'll be with us again.
Yeah, I think he's still getting used to the idea of...
See you later, John.
Bye.
He's getting used to the idea of when he speaks, that interrupts the whole conversation with everybody. And I think a lot of people are struggling with that, where they keep it open and then they make a comment, something.
I do it sometimes. I catch myself.
Yeah, so he's but he really enjoyed being a part of it. I could tell that he really liked seeing me, seeing everybody else, and he and I have done some Zoom meetings, and he did it all by himself yesterday with an email invitation from me.
Yay!
I was going to ask if you had set up your own, so you could have contact.
Yeah. So it's been kind of tricky for me to put in the right. I'm getting used to putting in the right meeting ID because I have a separate meeting ID for church stuff that's unlimited minutes, and then I have a personal account that's unlimited minutes with my dad, but I invite other people to that if I want to, like my tutoring kids, I'm using that. So anyway, it's been interesting, and David, I think you're learning a little bit more every single time you do this about how people interact with the program and how to make the church service go more smoothly.
Well, we had, by my count, we had 3 screens. So we had 2 full screens of 20, and we had a partial screen of 4 or 5. So we actually had about 45 on today. So, yay!
That's awesome.
Yeah.
We had about, what was it, just on Zoom alone? It was about 25, I think, on Zoom alone. What was the other screen?
There were 3 screens of 20, or 3 screens, 2 of which were 20, and another that was a unique 4 or 5.
What platform was the other besides Zoom?
This was all Zoom.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this was all Zoom. Don't know how much Facebook Live and how much that reminds me. I need to go over here and